into fourth place, 7.39 behind Richard's time. Up next, Ebba Asjo of Sweden. Bib number 8, our final competitor of this women's standing competition. She'll have been running through the course in her head, visualizing every turn, trying to really know where she can focus and push to squeeze every last drop of speed out of this course. And take the top spot off Aurélie Richard. Aggressive out the gate for Ebba Asjo. She is a powerful and fearless racer, really charging, looking for the racing line. Now that looks fast coming through here. Let's see what the clock says. With the factoring system, it can be hard to actually judge what you're seeing on screen with the time elapsed. But this is looking nice from Ebba. Over the jump, little off balance, but nothing to worry her. And through the gliding midsection really well. Holding that edge, just a little kick up of snow, but very smooth through there. Charging down the road into the triple and holding good speed. A little bit of a wobble there. Doesn't seem to knock the speed off. And she's got the green light coming into the finish. Will she take it off the French? Yes, she will. 0.51 ahead for Asjo. And that is a win for Sweden. Second for Aurélie Richard. Ebba is one of the most exciting young racers on the tour. She really is not afraid to charge it and take the fastest line. And we see that in her win today. Fantastic. Sweden take the win. France in second. And Audrey Crowley of the USA in third. We'll shortly go down to the finish with Marie Bochet for an interview. Now, Marie needs no introduction in the para Alpine skiing world. However, just to highlight some of her incredible achievements throughout her career. 107 World Cup victories.
Congratulations, girls, for the podium today, for the race. Yesterday we have a very flat visibility for your category, so today you can more engage. Ebba, what are you feeling today?
Well, it wasn't as good as yesterday. Yesterday was perfect for me, the run, but the jumps today was better. So, still something.
Thank you, and see you tomorrow for the Super G.
Eba there, not a perfect run today, but enjoyed the jumps. It does look brilliant out there, almost tempting me to dust off my skis, my downhill skis, and get back racing. Just to continue, we have the women's sitting competition. 2 starters today. Audrey Pascual-Seco, the leader in the downhill standings, and Barbara van Bergen sitting in 4th. Pascual-Seco up first, representing Spain, LW12-2 class, and yesterday's race winner. Obviously, some issues with the timing this morning, causing some delays in between races, but hopefully they will have the competition underway shortly. Conditions underfoot look fantastic. Just a little bit of bumpiness left over from yesterday's racing around some of the longer turns, so the triple had confirmation from Marie that was the case, but otherwise it's looking glorious here in Tignes. Looks like we are ready to kick off this competition. Final words from her coach to Audrey Pascual-Seco there. Just making sure she's staying warm and activated before, whilst the delay to the timing day is sorted. Seco Pascual was confirmed the overall winner in downhill after yesterday's run, 430 points ahead of Annalena Forster in current second, who will take the second place this season. Third spot is up for grabs. Van Bergen, a finish for Van Bergen today could see her take the top spot off Wenjing Zhang of China, the third bronze position. Position of Wenjing Zhang from China. Let's see what these women put down on this course today. And we are away. Pascual-Seco on course. And a lovely smooth line through these opening turns. Seco Pascual will be looking to build on her win yesterday. Take advantage of these glorious conditions to just test her speed, her downhill racing, and push the envelope in ahead of the Paralympic Games. Nice line through, just coming in to the jump. Big setup. And just a little bit of air, but really great line through into the gliding midsection, coming down to this carousel. A little bit scrappy in the entry. Will that matter in the overall timing? We shall see. Low coming out of the triple, but nothing to worry about for the Spanish racer. This is a smooth run, really nice, into first place, 1.1857 for Spain opening this competition. We can just see really nice control off that roll. Next in the start we have Barbara van Bergen, veteran Dutch skier, switched from wheelchair basketball to para-alpine skiing in 2014 and has been in the top flight of skiers for many of those years. Unfortunate DNF yesterday, so she'll be looking to finish this race and get some more World Cup points, with the potential for taking the bronze in the overall downhill competition away from Wenjing Zhang of China. Now this is looking good from the Dutch skier. Lovely setup over the jump. She's a little bumpy, but manages it beautifully. And the clock is showing she is ahead at the first split. Can she take the lead off Audrey Pascal-Seco? A little bit late. Oh, she was late in the line. She's missed that gate. Really unfortunate, but she was motoring through those turns. A little slap of the outrigger there. Yeah, she'll be cross with that. That is a disappointing. That'll be disappointing for Van Bergen. Gets late through the carousel gate coming onto the road and just can't hold it to make that S-turn on the road coming down to the triple. Seco Pascual takes the win and extends her lead in the downhill overall competition. With Van Bergen just missing out due to that DNF of the bronze medal in the overall downhill competition.
Hey, congratulations for your race today. And the question for you is, how much is it to take confidence for the last downhill before the Paralympic Games?
Yes, it's definitely a good option to have confidence and to do a good race. The slope is perfect. It's a sunny day, so yeah, I'm very proud of my race and ready for Cortina.
We look at you. Thank you.
Audrey Pascal-Seco there, and she should be proud. That was a great run by the Spanish skier, taking confidence going into the Paralympic Winter Games in a few weeks' time. Moving now to the men's competition, men's visually impaired. 4 runners in this competition today. Johannes Aigner taking the overall downhill competition win with his win in yesterday's downhill. And Bertagnoli currently in second place with 300 points. Not racing here today, and Neil Simpson of Great Britain sat in third on 200. So could upset that second place spot with a win here today. Miroslav Haras of Slovakia in fourth, but just 10 points behind Simpson. So that the second and third place is absolutely up for grabs in the Crystal Globe competition in this men's vision impaired class. Up first for France, Hyacinth Delaplace, guided by Gauthier de Tessier. And they're off to loud shouts, getting them out the start gate. Straight in to a tight tuck, really nice distance here. Guide will be giving short commands here, just giving the flavour of the race. Piste over the roll, that is nice skiing. A little bit of a gap opening up now. I need to watch that coming over the jump, but that's it, setting up nicely. And a good line out of that jump for Delaplace. Holding the edge, coming down into the carousel gate onto the road. Lovely, smooth line through the S-turns as they come in to set up high for the triple into the traverse. This is fast skiing by Delaplace. Very smooth. He is a calculated skier and really finds clean lines when he's on form. Takes the top spot as the opener. 1.15 the time to beat. Dropping a little low through that triple and when on the fall away, but let's see what Aigner does in response to that opening run. The winner of the overall competition in the downhill rankings. An aggressive line from Aigner, guided by Nico Habel of Austria. These two are not afraid to attack. And you can just see how smooth they are coming through these turns. Very little snow being kicked up over the jump, 1-2, and immediately back into the tuck. This is an aggressive, look at that line through that carousel, tight to the gate. A little bit late on the exit. Let's see if that shows. Yeah, dropped low in the triple, but holds the line and has increased his margin by the second split, 4.41 ahead of Delaplace time in the opening run. into the top spot, 6.50 seconds into the lead. That is a great run by the Austrians. Tignes has extended his points lead. In the Crystal Globe competition. Representing Great Britain, we have Neil Simpson, guided by his brother Andrew, currently in the 3rd spot in the rankings, looking to improve on that by taking the win today. Off to a solid start. Little mistake there by Andrew. A speed check coming into that first gate, but still this pair are motoring down through the gliding section in the middle of this course. Over the roll, and Neil coming in close to his brother. They don't seem to have quite found their rhythm this morning. Yesterday's was nice and smooth. The clock is showing 2.08 behind. Oh, that was a close one for Neil, just getting caught up onto one ski, pulls it back. Lost a little time through that midsection, 4.74. The clock is showing into a tight tuck. They really need to squeeze every last bit of speed through these closing turns and into the finish. Into 2nd position, 5.89 behind Johannes Tignes. And that was not the smoothest run from the British pair. But nonetheless, a great time for these two into 2nd place. And 3rd, we have Hyacinth de la Place. No start for the Slovakian pair of Haraus and Hudik this morning. Brilliant setup, and now over to Marie for the winners' interviews.
Okay, so congratulations everyone for the race, and a special question for you because you're definitely the boss in downhill. Congratulations for this season, for the gloves. Which ambition have you got for the Paralympic Games?
Yeah, we want to train and want that we have good games, and we will see. Hopefully it will be good games.
And we go with this feeling from the downhill to the trainings and to the Paralympics.
So thank you, and see you tomorrow for the Super G.
This is a fantastic training race. Obviously, World Cup race, very serious, but as many of the athletes have alluded to over their interviews, this is perfect training and preparation for the competition conditions ahead of the Paralympic Winter Games in March. Next up, we have the men's standing competition. 15 runners this morning. Only one non-starter after yesterday's race. Marcus Nielsen Grasso of Norway will not start this morning. And the overall globe is absolutely up for grabs this morning, with Robin Kusch of Switzerland currently sitting in the gold medal position, 360 points, chased down by Alexis Guimont of Canada and Arthur Bauchet of France on 320 and 250 points respectively. Aaron Lindstrom a little way behind in fourth, but closely followed with only 3 points in it by Nico Panjancic of Austria. And there we see Nico on screen, up first in this men's standing competition. You see a lot of athletes just pounding their chest before they go, just getting the adrenaline going, psyching yourself. You need to psych yourself up for the downhill run. This race is all about chasing the speed as fast as you can, leaving everything on the hill and giving full commitment. Let's see what Nico delivers for us today. And he is off. Smooth opening turns in this second downhill race. Fourth yesterday, a little bit of speed scrubbed through that as he comes into the flatter midsection. Not ideal timing for that. You usually want to hold as much speed as possible, but he's looking very smooth in the setup for the jump. Little off balance and a check. Ooh, holds it though, coming in through to the carousel. Can he hold the line? Yes. Nice line. A little bit of snow kicked up, but that is smooth by Panjancic. Aggressive direct line through that triple and onto the traverse. And holds that direct approach straight down to the finish. 1:14.49. A few mistakes creeping in there. It will be interesting to see if that is enough to hold on to the top spot. I think it might not be, based on yesterday's performances. But up next to challenge that time, Markus Sacher of Austria, LW91. Sacher is out the gate and opening into the opening turns of his downhill run. It looks like he means business this morning. He's a veteran to these downhill races, and we have seen him be very explosive in previous races. Absolutely fearless, really chasing the aggressive line. You can see it just a little bit off balance in some of these turns, but that was a nice glide through that section. Sets up for the jump and comes over it smoothly. Right leg catching on some of those lumps and bumps and the exit to the jump. It holds a strong line onto the road section. charging through the gates there. And again, just getting a little bit caught through the ruts on that triple. But really motoring. The clock shows he's in the green, 1.24 ahead of Panjancic. He will be pleased with that run. Takes the top spot, 1.50 ahead. New time to beat, 1.1299. Markus Saucher of Austria. Great run. French star Arthur Bauchet up next, sat in third in the overall downhill rankings this season. Away to shouts from the French coaching team, and let's see what Bauchet can deliver this morning. Smooth on these opening turns, really holding that tuck, just little offset coming over that roller, but he is charging down this run today. Known for being quite aggressive in his style. I'm not sure what the splits are doing, but we will oh, he's really opened up in that midsection. 0.57 in the green, low through that triple, but that could just mean he is absolutely charging. It looks like he has found top gear and chasing down that top spot aggressively into the lead, 0.81 ahead of Markus Saucher of Austria. The new time to beat set by the Frenchman. The local crowd and supporters will be delighted with that run. Grabbing the tuck at every opportunity to hold onto that speed as much as possible. Andrew Harricky of USA in the gate next. He didn't finish yesterday's run, and we'll be looking to get those points on the scoreboard this morning. Strong push for the American athlete. And a solid conservative start for through those opening turns. Chasing down that speed. Great line off the roll through the midsection as we come in to set up for this jump. Yeah, takes a lovely line there. 0.19 in the green. Little late on the exit to the jump, but pulls it back and holds on to a very smooth run. Checking the speed to make sure he makes the gate in the S-bend here, and losing a little bit of time in the process. 0.76 behind, putting him in third provisionally. Very low on the exit to the triple, but pulls it back in. That will have cost him time-wise, but he makes the gates. Scooping the outriggers around that gate. That is aggressive skiing, risky skiing, but that puts him into fourth, 2.33 behind Arthur Bauchet. Very low coming out of that triple, but manages to catch the edges, make the edges grip and pull him back round. Aaron Lindstrom of Sweden out the gate now. No factored time. So what you're seeing on the screen is the time, is the time that he will be given. A relative newcomer in downhill, but very experienced across the Para-Alpine world. He is a tidy skier, technically very strong, and with a really efficient tuck. We're seeing long jump there, holds it beautifully. Not quite as smooth as he needs to be to take the top spot off Boucher. 1.48 behind the clock is showing. That is a lovely aggressive line down through that triple. You can see just holding that edge, very smooth. Can he do it coming into the finish? He takes third position, 1.84 after that run. Good run from the Swede. Look at the distance he gets on that jump. Alexis Guimont of Canada starting next. Second in the overall rankings. Looking to hold on to that position ahead of Arthur Boucher, who's currently in the lead. This is a critical run from the Canadian, and he has got to charge. Lovely opening turns, motoring through the first section. Little late on the exit to that gate there. Oh, and slightly misjudges the line, but gets it back. It will cost him a fraction of a second there with the little correction. But he is motoring through this course. 0.14 behind at the first split. Holds a strong line through the carousel and into the road. Provisionally in second at the second split, and really hangs onto his edge as well to drive around that triple. Will it be enough to take the top spot off Arthur Boucher? Into second by 0.1. This is close racing between the top runners in the standing competition. You see a little mistake. Those tiny mistakes will have cost that top spot for the Canadian. Up next, Robin Kusch of Switzerland, current tour leader, needs to finish ahead of Guimont to hold on to the top spot. He will be looking to charge in this run and straight out the gate into a tight tuck for this powerful downhill skier. Great edge control coming through into this midsection, and you can see a tight line. No mistake coming over that roll. Let's see as he's setting up for the jump. Beautiful. Clock is showing 1.14 ahead of Boucher. Textbook entry and exit of the carousel and onto the road. And as he sets up for the triple, oh, that right ski just getting chattered and clattered around on the exit, but holds on. You can see how fast he's going into the top spot. 1.12 for Kush. Slightly slower in the third section, but he takes the win. What a brilliant run by the young Swiss ski racer. He is understandably delighted with that. And that secures the crystal globe for Kush. Gakuta Koike of Japan racing next in bib 22. '13th after yesterday's race, skis with plenty of flow. Safely off the roll, coming into the jump now, and a nice line in, little off the pace, but a solid run from this the Japanese skier. .23 off the pace at the second split, coming into the finish now, really charging. Just see hanging on to the edges there, just getting a little twisted, but he is over into 8th place for the moment, 5.3 behind the leader. Jules Seger of France, starting now. A pretty balanced skier. We've seen good performances from him. Knows when to bring the aggression, but also able to keep it pretty smooth. And these opening turns are lovely and smooth. Scrubbing a little bit of speed through the entry to this middle gliding section. Nice line, very similar to Kush's line over that little roll, and sets up for the jump. Good line, taking plenty of air, but controls it nicely as he's coming in. 2.01 in the red at the first split. Looking tidy through the S-bends and into setting up for the triple. Gets a little caught and pulled low, but pulls it back in into the final pitch and charging down to that finish line. Final time into 5th position, 2.87 behind leader Robin Kusch of Switzerland. And the French fans are going wild for that performance. 9th yesterday, so provisionally an improvement on that at the midpoint of this second downhill here in Tignes. Next up, Oscar Burnham, also representing France, 12th yesterday. We've seen courageous performances from this athlete in the past, not afraid to charge and take an aggressive line, and we're seeing that in these opening turns now, squeezing every last drop of speed in that tuck. A little wobble, but no issues at all coming over that roll, holding the tuck and really charging into this jump. Nice setup, very composed in the air. 2.4 at the split. Little mistake getting late in the line there. Ooh, but he manages to get it back and doesn't cause him any problems coming into the S-turns on the road. 2.9 behind leader Robin Couche, and just chasing down those final seconds of this race, charging for that line, which puts him into 9th position, 3.78, and that final split, it was a rapid one by the French athlete Oscar Burnham into 9th. Thomas Groscher of Austria racing next. 7th in yesterday's downhill. Another athlete who's known for charging, really attacks in those compressions. Skiing on what's called a 3-track setup, 1 ski, 2 outriggers. Skillfully navigating the gates and getting that timing just right to not get them caught up. It's a very aggressive line by the Austrian coming over that jump. A little off balance. Oh, and that was a risky turn, but it pays off. He comes in nice. It's good exit from the carousel into the road. 3.19 into the red for the Austrian. Very aggressive line coming out of that triple, but holds it well, doesn't get dragged down by the fall away by taking a wider line, and dives down into the finish into 9th, 3.77 behind the fastest time. Jordan Poisson from France up next, LW4 class, and 10th in yesterday's downhill. He competed in Pyeongchang 2018 and Beijing in 22 in both tech and speed. Let's see if he can improve on his 10th position yesterday. Little off balance around those turns. But smooth coming through this gliding section. 2.1 off the pace. And a little late on the exit to the jump. Yeah, just a few mistakes, scrubbing off speed around this carousel and through these gates. It's going to cost him a bit of time. but he is motoring through this midsection. Aggressive, good line out of the triple and into the tight tuck to find those precious hundreds of seconds as he comes into the finish. Into ninth, 3.73 behind Robin Kusch, our current leader. Yeah, great section there coming from Carousel into the S-bend by the Frenchman. Racing for Andorra. Roger Puigdevy, LW92. Finished fourth in yesterday's race. You can see a few lumps and bumps just on the critical points around some of the key gates. Nice. Over that first roll. Smooth into the jump, very direct line. Oh, that was a risky exit. But will it pay off? Let's see at the second split. 1.39 behind at the first split. You can see a big puff of snow as he comes into the S-bend. 2.08 behind into fifth at the second split. And this is a fast run. Oh, look at that leg shake and coming around the triple. Just needs to hold on. He really is charging. What will the final clock say? Into fifth, 2.6 behind Robin Kusch. A good run by Puigdevy. Manuel Rachbauer from Austria in the gate. Technical skier. Let's see if the glorious conditions give him the opportunity to charge this run. So off to a good start. Coming in a little bit too direct into some of those opening turns. A lovely glide there through the middle section and onto the jump. Slightly twisted, holds it well. And takes a smooth line out of the exit to the jump and into the carousel turn. Slight speed check as he's into the triple, chasing down that speed, looking to find the tuck in the closing gates and into 14th, 6.62 behind current leader Robin Kusch. Emeric Sierro is our final competitor in this men's standing competition, racing for Switzerland. 8th in yesterday's downhill. Can he improve on that? This is an awesome start by the young Swiss skier in the LW 9-2 class. Aggressive skiing, really smooth through these turns, and keeping those smooth edges is so important in downhill. Oh, just gets caught on the jump, but holds it and makes the gate by the skin of his teeth straight back into that tuck. You can see that aggressive style shining through there in the young Swiss athlete, and he is absolutely charging through this section. 2.64 behind at the second split. Good line through the triple and onto the traverse. Really confident, particularly after that mistake over the jump. Into 6th. What a run by the young Swiss athlete. 2.68 behind his teammate Robin Kusch's time. That is a brilliant result, and look at that control, bringing his weight back over the skis off that jump. Robin Kusch in first, Arthur Bauchet in second, Alexis Guimont in third rounds off the podium. And Kusch takes the downhill globe with Bauchet just pipping Guimont into second, into the silver position. Correction, Guimont.
Congratulations, guys, for this tight competition. So, Robin, it's not a secret, you have the nephew of the famous Didier Kusch, and today it's a special day. So, can you explain why?
I guess it's my 21st win in World Cup, and Didier has 21 wins in World Cup. So, yeah, equal as my uncle, but we'll try to do better for the next seasons.
So, congratulations for it, and see you tomorrow for the Super G.
Men's sitting competition up next in this FIS Para Alpine World Cup. Yesterday's winner, Jesper Pedersen, has already confirmed he is the downhill globe winner. Jeroen Kampschrer of Netherlands in the second position currently on 290 points, closely followed by Andrew Kirker of USA on 245, who didn't start yesterday. Let's see if he starts today. Taiki Mori of Japan out the gate first, set this opening time for the rest of the competitors to chase down. Third in yesterday's downhill. Can he bring his flowing style and experience to take the win here this morning? Lovely start, very smooth from Mori. Great line over the first roll and into this gliding section. He's carrying that speed so well. Sets up high for the jump. a little bit of winding down the windows, but safely over it and charging through the gliding section down into carousel, scrubbing some of his speed off to make sure he gets that line into the road. And he's carrying good speed. Can he hold it through the fall away of the triple? Yes, lovely. Little bit low as he comes down the traverse, but that is a great run by Taiki Mori. 1.12, the opening time in the men's competition. He is pleased with that run. Let's see if it's enough to hold on to the top spot. The additional weight that the sit ski provides means we should see some good air time off that jump this morning. And Andrew Kirker, the veteran USA sit ski racer, is likely to be one of the ones who shows that off perfectly. Didn't restart yesterday, charging out of that start gate, looking like he means business this morning. And he is really motoring. Yeah, good. A long jump there from the American. Thrown around through some of those lumps and bumps in the exit of that jump. Let's see. He smooths through the carousel. A nice high line, but just off the pace. 0.23 behind. All to play for in this final section. He had the green light in the top. He's a low coming out of that triple, but holds the line nicely coming down onto the final pitch. Can he squeeze out a few hundredths of a second to take the lead? No, he goes into second, 0.11 behind Taiki Mori of Japan. Great run by the American, but not quite enough to squeeze Taiki Mori off the top spot. Next up, another veteran in Para-Alpine ski racing terms, Corey Peters, representing New Zealand. The current Paralympic champion in downhill and silver medalist in Super G. Very experienced racer. Unfortunate DNF did not finish in yesterday's race, so we'll be looking to get some points on the board today. Charging for that gate after the first roll. Big jump there, sets up. Let's see what he does. Really long flight in the jump there, but holding the line well. 0.56 off the pace, provisionally putting him in the third spot around that first split. Smooth down the road. Let's see, will he set up high for the triple? Yeah, lovely holding that line. And you can just see the experience. He knows exactly where to position that sit ski coming through. Charging down to the finish and into third. 0.53 behind Taiki Mori of Japan. Jeroen Kampschreur from Netherlands in the gate. 4th yesterday. Can he grab a podium spot today? He's the overall Globe winner last season and took the Giant Slalom and Super G wins. Aggressive skier. He's really charging. That was a tight line through into the gliding middle section. Bit of air, slightly late, misjudged that line coming out of the little jump there. Taking a more direct route than the first runners. Let's see if that pays off. Yeah, this is scrappy, but the most important thing is it fast. It is 0.12 ahead at the second split. Beautiful line in the exit to the triple, really smooth coming through those closing turns and down to the finish line. What will the time be? He increases his lead to take the top spot, 0.43 ahead. That is brilliant skiing by the Dutch skier Kamschur to take the lead off Taiki Mori of Japan, dropping Andrew Kirker into 3rd place. Jesper Pedersen of Norway up next. Yesterday's winner. He's the current World Cup leader. In both downhill and the overall. And we'll have to find top gear to beat the fantastic performances of Taiki Mori and Jerome Kamschur this morning. Perfect line through the midsection. 0.57 ahead for the Norwegian. This is great skiing. A little bit late. Has to check around that gate and set. Doesn't have quite the space to set up for the carousel and onto the road. Will that cost him? A little bit, but still he's got the green light. 0.25. Needs to hold the line, stay high through this and hold on to that speed. Coming into the finish. This is looking fast by the Norwegian. But not fast enough. Just missing the top spot by 0.16. Kamschur holds on to the lead, and that little mistake there coming off the jump and into the carousel turn will have cost that top spot. But next up we have Takeshi Suzuki of Japan. Finished 7th yesterday. Another technically very skilled skier. Balanced and controlled. I expect him to make this look easy. The lovely tight line coming through into the gliding midsection over the jump beautifully, and yeah, very smooth. High line into the jump, a little bit off the pace, 0.89. little. Just needs to find second gear here. This is looking very smooth, but the aggression we saw in the current tops racers topping the podium is missing from this run here. 1.68 into the red at the second split for Suzuki as he comes down into the finish into 6th, 2.68 behind current leader Jeroen Krampscher of the Netherlands. Kurt Otway of Canada in the gate now. Second after yesterday's race. An absolute contender for the top spot. Very smooth, very controlled, and really able to deliver those winning performances when it matters. Let's see if he can do it today. He's the current Globe winner in downhill and has been focusing exclusively on speed this year. Perfect line coming through to set him up for the jump. Let's see. A little bit of weight in the back seat, but holding that line. Oh, slightly off balance into the carousel. Green light at the first split. Smooth exit to carousel. This is looking good for the Canadian. 0.57 ahead at the second split, and he is charging down this traverse and into the final gates of this downhill run. What will the final clock say as the Canadian comes in? He increases the margin, takes the top spot, 0.69 ahead of Kampschroer of the Netherlands. What a run by the Canadian. Josh Hanlon from Australia is up next. Balanced ski racer. Nice slide out into the gliding section means he'll carry that speed really well. Little bit too direct in that first jump, but corrects himself. A little check of speed as he's coming in. Very tight for the jump. Let's see, 1.95 at the first split into the red. Good line. Bringing him down into the road and looking very smooth. 2.79 at the second split. Sets up well for the triple and keeps well away from the fall away to hold his speed in the traverse for these final, bringing him into the final gates and into the finish. 8th position for Hanlon, 3.84 behind current leader Kurt Otway of Canada. Nicholas Biscuit Hudson of Chile up next. Didn't finish yesterday. Strong push at the start, and as he gets settled into these opening turns, looking pretty smooth. A little bit of a check there coming to the first pitch. Wants to carry that speed through this gliding section. Very direct line through the first jump, but nips round that control gate and sets up well for the jump. 0.65 puts him in 6th position at the first split. Just getting a little bit late in the line as he comes down into the entry of the carousel. Smashing the gates out of the way on the road, and a slightly low line through the triple, but really charging down to the finish here. What a good run from the Chilean. 7th position, he'll be pleased with that. 2.15 behind Kurt Odway's time. Up next, second of the Dutch skiers, Niels de Langen. De Langen has good flow in his skiing, and let's see if he can bring that to this race. A little bit hesitant in that transition. Straight up, trying to glide with the ski as flat as possible. That's key for keeping the momentum through these flatter sections. Good line off the jump and down into the carousel to take an aggressive line out of it and into the road. 1.99. That was a good midsection by the Dutch skier. He's attacking this course well. Can he hold on to that speed in these closing turns and climb up the rankings? Into 8th, 3.06 behind Kurt Odway of Canada. Another Canadian, Brian Rowland, up next. Ninth in yesterday's race, looking to improve on that. Taking a conservative line around those turns onto the first pitch, but gliding well as he comes up and over the first jump. Slight check there, it's very direct to the next gate. But lovely setup to the jump. 1.54 into the red at the first split. Yeah, a little off the line, off the racing line there. for the Canadian. But recovers it well and has a pretty solid line into and out of the carousel down onto the road. Wants to stay high through this triple. Middle of the course, doesn't get too pulled down. 2.64. Lost a bit of speed through that midsection. Let's see. Into 10th, 3.72. Enrique Plante for Argentina up next. LW11 class, and didn't finish yesterday's run, so getting across that, navigating the course safely and getting across that finish line will be high on the agenda for the Argentinian this morning. And the Argentinian race, and Plante is charging in this downhill run. Good speed coming over the first jump. Sets up nicely. Little check over it, but oh, mistake coming over in the line coming over the jump, but manages to hold on to it and makes the next gate. Will have cost him a bit of time, but he is still in this race. Round carousel and into the road. 3.89 behind at the second split. Absolutely fearless. That little scare on the jump doesn't appear to have shaken his confidence. He's charging down in these final gates. 12th position for the Argentinian Plante, 4.8 off the pace of Kurt Ottaway of Canada. Look at that. Just holds on, manages to nip around that control gate. What a save. Spekschneider for Netherlands up next. 6th yesterday. Had a cracking run for the young Dutchman, who is up and coming through the ranks. Very smooth run we saw from him yesterday. He built good run, good rhythm, and had great pace. Lovely line, a little bit of a check at the exit of the jump to bring him around that control gate. Oh, and that is a crash off the jump. He's lost the cover of his monoski as he comes over that jump. We'll have a bit of a pause. Hopefully he is okay. Oh, that was such a shame. It was a great start, but just a little bit too far forward. Couldn't hold the landing and skids out. A real shame for the Dutch skier as he was flying down that course. Looks to be okay. Gone to the side to join the coaches, and we'll have a brief pause in racing while they reset the timing and get ready for the final competitor in this men's sitting competition, Christophe Damas. racing for Switzerland. It's a great view of the first pitch there. And 2 doubles back to back. So this is a fantastic race hill for speed. Very exciting, very technical, and the hill team have done a fantastic job at preparing it for races, providing a safe and fair competition for all. The weather has held out beautifully today. We've got one more race here in Tignes in the final speed races of the World Cup Tour this year. Super G tomorrow. Looks like we might be expecting a little bit of snow, so see how the conditions hold up for tomorrow's race. But back to today's race and our final competitor of the men's sitting competition, Christoph Dammer of Switzerland. Tenth yesterday. Can he improve on that in today's race? It's a smooth start from the up-and-coming Swiss skier. A little bit wide coming onto the midsection. Needs to hold that speed. Looking very smooth through there as he sets up for the jump. Now, can he hold it? Yes, he can. Comes out nicely on the exit. You can see a few lumps and bumps appearing for these later runners, but not posing too many problems at the moment for the Swiss skier. Damas. Lovely rolling, edge to edge. Very low, getting dragged down by that fall away on the triple, but pulls it back round in the traverse and sets up nicely for these final 3 gates into the finish. 13th position for Christoph Dammer, 6.38 behind Kurt Ottaway of Canada. And that concludes the men's sitting competition in this FIS Para Alpine downhill race. Kurt Ottaway of Canada in first, Jerome Kampschreur of Netherlands in second, Jasper Pedersen, the current leader and Crystal Globe winner for this season, in third. With one DNF, Dutch skier, Speckschneider, coming over that jump. What a great competition we've had. We can look forward to Marie Boucher interviewing the leaders in just a few moments.
Congratulations, guys, for this amazing race in sitting category. Kurt, you are how much faster than yesterday? What did you do differently today?
Yeah, couple seconds faster today. The snow is faster, which always helps. I asked my technician for a faster ski, and I just cleaned up my line in places. I found yesterday I overskied a few things, and I just cleaned it up and came out on top today, I guess.
So congratulations, and see you tomorrow for the Super G.
Well, that concludes things here in the second downhill race at Tignes. What a morning of racing, some very exciting results for all skiers. Some more points won, winners of the Crystal Globes confirmed. Great day's racing and brilliant effort by all of the Hill team. Don't forget to check out the FIS app to follow along with all the results, and the website for bios of athletes and more. Thanks for joining me, Jen Kehoe, here at the Para Alpine speed racing in Tignes. I look forward to seeing you all tomorrow morning.
Marie, today we had a beautiful day, really perfect conditions for this last downhill of the World Cup season. How did you feel to be in the finish line and not in the start gate?
If I right with my decision to stop my career, I think today it's a little bit heartbreaking to be at the start of this perfect downhill. We have a very beautiful show. It's amazing condition in Tignes today, so yes, a little bit.
We have one more to go tomorrow, Super G. What can we expect from this last Super G of the season tomorrow?
Super G, it's more instinctive discipline, so I think we can have some surprise, and it's very important to be there tomorrow too, because it's a very cool race.
Then we are looking forward to it, and see you tomorrow.
See you tomorrow.